During our summer vacation, my wife Madison and I stayed at a luxurious five-star hotel. We had a room with a minibar and a stunning sea view. There was a beautiful pool on the property. Everything was in pristine condition. Luxurious atmosphere, attentive staff, and plenty of amenities to suit every taste. Madison loved waking me up early in the morning before it got too hot and dragging me to the beach. We would stay there until noon, then go back for lunch, nap in the room, and then head back to the beach in the evening. For the first 3 days, I enjoyed the warm sun, the soft sand, and the relaxing sound of the waves. It all felt like a much-needed break from our hectic lives. But soon, the monotony began to drive me crazy. The days began to blend into one another, each one similar to the last. I put up with one more day, hoping that something would change, or I could get used to the routine. But then I just couldn't take it anymore. Despite the sunscreen, I still burned in some places, and the pain made it almost impossible to sleep at night. I was constantly tossing and turning, and the heat from the burns made me uncomfortable. When I offered to explore the city or even just relax in my room, Madison dismissed me, saying that she had come here to be at the sea and that my complaints were ruining her vacation. She wanted a full beach vacation and wasn't going to get in the way of my grievances. In the end, she insisted that we continue our vacation. I hated the sea passionately, the salty smell, the endless waves, the scorching sun. It all became unbearable. On one of the hottest days, I reached my breaking point. Halfway to the beach, I stopped, turned around, and told Madison I would wait for her in her room. We had a huge fight right there on the path to the beach. She accused me of being selfish, of not caring about her happiness, and I tried to explain how miserable I was becoming. Eventually, she continued on her way, and I returned to the hotel, happier than ever. I headed to our room, happy to be able to rest and finally be alone. When I entered the room, I was in for a surprise. The sounds of music playing on someone's headphones filled the room. It could be heard even from the hallway. There, at the mirror, stood a young woman, a maid. Judging by the dress lying carelessly on the floor, she was resting. The room looked tidy, and on the bed lay a towel in the shape of a swan, a symbol of her former hard work. When she noticed me, her face flushed, and she immediately began to apologize. "I'm sorry, sir," she said, fumbling with her dress, her cheeks still crimson. "I'll be right out." She quickly tried to gather her things, but I asked her what she was doing in our room. She froze for a moment and then said quietly, avoiding my gaze, "I just wanted to relax a little. You're not usually in the room at this time, so I thought it would be okay." I nodded, understanding. She looked at me with a mischievous glint in her eyes and suddenly asked, "Do you want to relax too?" There was something playful and almost sassy in her voice. Before I could answer, she stepped closer, her movements bold and confident. She pushed me onto the bed, her playful smile making it impossible for me to resist. The room was even hotter than it was outside as she helped me remove my shirt. Her touch was gentle, but at the same time, there was a sense of urgency in her actions. The heat was building between us, and I found myself giving myself over to the moment completely. There was something liberating about it, something that made me forget about arguments, monotony, and sunburn. After that day, I never went to the beach with Madison again, but she always made sure to be there when it was time to clean the room. The maid and I had an unspoken understanding. She would show up at her usual time, and we would share those stolen moments together. This became the highlight of my days, the thing I looked forward to the most. I began to plan my entire schedule around these brief encounters. The days stopped seeming monotonous, and the suffocating feeling I used to feel disappeared. I knew it was wrong, but I couldn't bring myself to stop. The excitement, the mystery, it all made me feel alive in a way I hadn't felt in a very long time.